Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Yeah, that was short and sweet, wasn't it? Gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It's hump day. It just seems like now I'm going from week to week and just grateful for Friday through Sunday. The job has gotten a little bit tougher in that, addiction has come from behind closed doors, come from behind the veil, and is out in the open. I don't want people to be ashamed of their stories. I really don't. I don't want people to struggle privately. Don't want that. But I also don't want the mental health aspects, compounded by the addiction to lead people into, I want to say, acts where it shows lower inhibitions and the lack of clear rational thought. People are starting to get hurt beyond, I want to say, the stigma of addiction. Beyond, I'm talking about physically hurt. And in this state, we have to thank one of the presidents who was the one-time governor of this state, known as the great communicator. Yeah, I'm just going to laugh at that. Mr. Ronald Reagan actually opened the doors of all the mental health facilities to release folks into the general population. And I'm not talking about, folks with, not to trivialize, diagnoses. I'm not talking about folks with like anxiety disorders and, very low level mood disorders. Because to a certain extent, we're all triggered from time to time into similar behaviors. I'm talking about folks who are criminally insane were released. And there were laws put in place to, keep folks on the streets, so to speak. And it's one of those A words that I used early in my recordings. People should have autonomy over their treatment. Now, if I grew up in an environment that made me insane, and the people I associated with, had similar stories, let me backtrack a little bit. How and why do I get to make decisions about my autonomy? Now, I'm not saying lock everybody up. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's already evident that my thinking is not rational and clear. But now you're giving me a say-so in my irrational thinking. That kind of circular thinking has made things very interesting in the great state of California. And I have the pleasure of serving as a substance abuse counselor. I've shared that as my profession. And I look at it as also ministry. Share that as well. And we're making some moves yet again that may prove to be problematic later on down the line. I think, when we get to this point of legislation and lobbying for certain laws, certain folks need to be brought to the table. And by certain folks, I mean the people who are impacted by, what's going on at the time. It's nice to have a movement. It's nice to have rights protected. But it's also nice to have the rights of the caregivers taken into consideration as well.